Hey, this is Pastor Michael Urisha, and I want to invite you to hit that like and subscribe button and drop us a comment if you will. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you receive all of our updates. God bless you. Come on, let's get to the Word.
Point number 2, when God speaks to you or gives you a dream or a vision, and let me add this little caveat there. Every dream that you have at night is not from God. It could be very well from that 5th taco you ate at Taco Bell. You'd be surprised, because you know our broadcast goes all over the world, and some people, Pastor, I had a dream about this. What can you tell me? You know, it's like, well, what did you eat last night? You know, but I get all kind of messages. I had this dream. I had that dream. You know, people want answers to their dreams. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't godly dreams and there aren't spiritual dreams, because there are. Are we all straight here? But every dream that you have, if you know you're dreaming that a giant cheeseburger is chasing you down the street, there's probably no spiritual connotation to that, you know? I'm just saying. Just saying. But when God gives you a dream, this is important, saints. Listen, do not go telling everyone, because everybody is not in your corner. Even Christians, even folk in the church, even if it's your closest friend or family members, and sometimes you have to wait for the right timing. Not everyone is ready to receive the revelation that you received. How many of you received a revelation in the Word of God about something, and you shared it with a family member who's saved and born again, but they just rebuked it out? They just spit it back out at you. They weren't ready to receive that revelation that you received. So you have to wait for the right timing. Remember the story about Joseph. It was his own brothers that hated him. This was his kinfolk. Many times it's the people closest to you that will begin to spew the negatives and begin to plant seeds of doubt in your life that God truly gave you. You'll never get that job. You'll never complete your education. That man's not right for you. That woman's not right for you. How will you ever start that ministry? You're not qualified. But how many of you know God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called? Honey, if you've been called, God will qualify you. He will prepare you. You want to start what kind of business? Don't you know you're not tall enough? You're not short enough? You're not fat enough? You're not skinny enough? You're not black enough. You're not white enough. I mean, they'll give you every excuse in the world why you can't, or the sky's it the other way. You're too tall. You're too short. You're too white. You're too black. You're too whatever. Most unsuccessful people are extremely quick to criticize. But how many of you know there's never been a statue erected toward a critic? But to those who've been criticized, many statues have gone up. Somebody. Be careful, listen, saints of God, who's speaking into your life. There's a law against people dumping trash in your front yard. Be careful who's dumping trash in your mind. Be careful who is speaking to you, saints of God. Sometimes you have to let relationships go. Everybody can't go where God is taking you. Everybody can't go on your journey. I'm talking about family members here. We're talking about Joseph and his brothers. Everybody can't go with you. So be careful who you share your vision with. And be careful, listen, let me flip the coin, what you're speaking into others, especially those close to you. And especially your children and your grandchildren and the children here in the church. If you do not, listen to this, if you do not know how to constructively criticize, shut your mouth. Amen. My mama used to say, "Start the zit." Shut your mouth. If you can't, listen, criticism is not to tear somebody down. To constructively criticize is to build somebody up. If somebody knows that you have their best interest at heart, they will receive what you have to say to them. But if you're always just beating them down and beating them down and beating them down, why would I even want to hear anything you have to say to me? But if you treat your children, your grandchildren, the children in the community, if you're always hugging on them and loving on them and encouraging them, not discouraging them, we need to speak words of encouragement one to another. Come on, we've studied this a lot throughout the book of 1 Corinthians and elsewhere. The Greek word is oikodome, to edify, to build up. It means to literally build a house. Unless the Lord builds the house, come on somebody, we labor in vain. So we're all home builders. We need to be building lives. Come on, saints, you all know this. Our tongue has the power of what? Life and death. Can we be some life speakers? Speak life to your community. Speak life to your family. Stop speaking death.
To every nation, to every generation, to all creation, to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ. To every nation, every generation, to all creation, to proclaim the gospel of Jesus.